Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, athlete, sports-related news, or sports-related event. And this week, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game and why the whole concept of doing All-Star Games is stupid. Because at the end of the day, what we need to remember is that the All-Star break should be a break for all of these players, and we shouldn't be forcing them to play. Granted, it's for the fans, so I do get that. But the NBA All-Star game was this past weekend, and some of the things that they changed in order to tweak it so that it's more competitive definitely worked. But I would say also that the main reason why it worked is not because of the changes, but because of the individuals that were in the game. And specifically, it's Victor Wembanyama, because he's the one that he's driving a lot of what is making this all-star game so memorable is that he's competing and he's the one that's trying to just string everyone along and trying to get everyone to play harder for this. I don't know if this is something that Adam Silver put him up to or if this is something that he just genuinely wants to try during these all-star games. Regardless, it's something that it was just a refreshing change of pace. So between him and Anthony Edwards going toe to toe against one another, I think that's really good because I think deep down inside, for the All-Star game, people want to take it easy. They want to take care of the fans. But I think the number one thing that I think most of these players don't want for an All-Star game is that they don't want to be embarrassed. And I think if Victor Wembanyama would have just kept embarrassing people like that, I think eventually he would have worn people out. So I really liked the All-Star game format. I think they need to potentially scale back a little bit on the Stars and Stripes team and maybe mix those up a little bit and not have like the old guard and the new guard in there. I think just getting a healthy mix of both would be good. And also, the All-Star game, the only reason why an All-Star game works is if the players commit to it. And you could pay them as much as you want, but it just takes one or two individuals to just really want to, excuse me, who really want to just make the most of it and make it an enjoyable experience for the fans. I can't say that's the same for the All Star festivities the rest of the time. The celebrity game is always going to be there. The 3-point contest should be the featured event, and the slam dunk contest. They either need to get rid of it, and maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder for the slam dunk competition, or they need to let like G Leaguers or people who do these like fancy NBA or fancy dunks compete instead because it is just getting downright embarrassing what's going on with the game. So yeah, so All-Star weekend overall was fine, and it's definitely not the worst like All-Star game. Like the Pro Bowl was the worst All-Star game. It still kind of is, but at least they're trying to like change it and trying to make it more safe. But like the MLB All-Star game, like they're kind of trying, but like eh. And then the hockey one, the what they did, because the NBA like took this concept from hockey, who did the like the Four Nations thing last year, which I think was really good. So if we can continue to lean into like the world versus the US, I think that would be good in particular because there's been a bit of a stigma that like American players haven't won an NBA MVP for a long time. So, there's a little bit of a stigma there, but also I think if there's a way that you can just continue to make this like a celebration and also just focus specifically on some of these rivalries. Like I would love to see like a one-on-one thing with Chet versus Wembanyama because it seems like there's at least a budding rivalry there. I'd love to see Wembanyama versus Anthony Edwards as well. I feel like some of these rivalries would be good potentially to have in the All-Star game, but overall, I'm just not a huge fan of some of these all-star games anymore. They're just not competitive. They're not a whole lot of fun. I don't think that there's a lot of simple fixes. And now that we have the play-in tournament as well, there's just less time for a break, and that sucks for the NBA players. But so we'll see from there. But what did you think of the All-Star game this year? Let me know in the comments below. And that's going to do it for this episode of Sportsball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at spdmcrew.com. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. Check out the other shows on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And as a reminder, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.